This is super exciting. We finally got shirts in, and they're being shipped to me first, so that way I can sign all of them. So these are the first time I've offered 3XL. There it is. There's the 1240 horsepower special edition, and I'm gonna sign it down here just because you don't want to have a signature in the middle of the shirt. The very original ones I had, actually that's this one. I signed it here, the first 100 that I had made. I felt like you don't need my signature in the middle of the damn shirt. We got 1240 of these to go through and sign, so I'm gonna sign them up. And then Chris is gonna pack them, and we'll get them out to all of you. There we go. That's obviously genuine. This one is going out to Ian Matthews. So Ian, you got the one that's on camera. So that's 10 down, 1230 to go. The first race. Looks pretty standard for what they are. These are from Germany, and these are from Japan. Probably the most expensive tool.
Did you eat top ramen for a week to buy that?
I didn't want the audience to know that. Oh, shim.
Do you have a
double
press?
Down and with super
Yeah,
primo. My Harbor Freight press too.
This way or this way?
Ooh, I would want to do it this way because this way would cause only this to be on the side.
Well, what you want to do is that this way, you're pressing here and here. When you do it this way, you press and you'll actually bend the studs.
What we're gonna do next is probably have Chris sand the inside of these down.
On the front side, so that way when we're putting this on, we're not trying to press this and knock this thing every time.
So this is nice, 1 3/4 tube. We're gonna make that into like a bearing press. Basically, we'll cut a chunk off.
Get that in there.
Apparently, I don't have all the right tools to do the job, so Dave's taking it back to his shop, and he's gonna show us how it's done.
Walk of shame.
That's a walk of shame. My Harbor Freight didn't cut it for you.
You have to get the big dig press.
Yeah, I know what that is. I've got one.
Alright, we have all the stuff for Rob's Diff for the front end. This is a bearing puller. A little bit bigger than the one he had. So this is a real press Rob. Little kitty toy that you have. So I got this bearing off. I couldn't record it just because I couldn't operate the lever and the camera actually see it. This cone ring, I need to pry off of here instead of trying to put this in a vise. I'll actually use the press as my vise. So there is the ring gear. We'll knock the bearings out of the sides, knock the seals out. New ring gears here. I have 2 bolts. Try and get at least 2 bolts in it. Socket put it exactly where it needed to be. Alright, we're all done with that. The ring gear's on, bearings are on, tone ring is on. Knock seals out, take these bearing races out. Clean these off with some brake clean, put them back in a box and resell them to Rob. He's good at buying stuff that already belongs to him. We're gonna make a bearing race press out of this. Does not take much to go in there, that's for sure. What you're trying to do is the ring gear is down this way and the pinion comes in this way.
Okay.
So the more shims I put on this side, it basically lowers it. If I take shims out, it raises it up, which basically makes this tight against the pinion. You want about 5 to 10 thousandths backlash, how it moves back and forth. So you basically shimming it to move it in and out. And then what we'll have to do is the pinion. Later after we'll put paint on here, and then we'll actually basically roll it around. And then when you're looking, you want to get the pattern where it's in the center. It's really tight, so I don't have enough shims in here, so I got to add another shim.
So needs adjustment.
It's close. I mean, I'm doing it by feel, and I'd say it's probably 5 thousandths.
6 to 7 thousandths.
So that's close. Yeah, you just want to get it more in. So this actually may need to, but it won't actually go, because you're pretty tight right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
It still has to basically go out.
Okay.
So when it goes out, you can probably go over farther. Right now, we're riding on this outer edge.
Yeah.
So as we go deeper, we'll have to push it over.
I see.
So,
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah, use all these.
That's so awesome.
And then I have some in here on that thick shim.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shim however we want now.
Always use the proper tool. So this one's actually a pretty thick one.
Whoa.
Yep.
Come here, baby kitty. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Dave got the diff done. It is a little tight, and I don't mean that in a bad way for his work. I just mean that the gear needs to wear in fully. It's going to take a couple horsepower to turn this. I mean, you can see that little bit of effort. But the backlash is solid. Everything's perfect. Yeah, he put paint on there to watch where the teeth are touching. All those geeky things. This thing is back together. We'll go ahead, button the sides back up further. Beautiful shims were used inside of this. Bolt it back up. I'm gonna clean this front cover off, reseal that, fill it back up, and then put it in the car. And we're ready to start reassembling the car. I've seen enough Japanese porn to know where this is going.
Didn't know you rolled like that.
I don't know why the first thing I thought of when I saw those was tentacles. I've gotten good at this from all of my oil pans, having to go over and over them because I messed something up. I don't know if other people feel this way, but I love scraping it like that and then having this material inside of like the divots in here. It's almost like it's flattened the surface more. It could be complete bullshit, but it makes me feel that way. This is pretty important. So I let it sit for about a half hour. It's still a little tacky, so we're not gonna put any fluid in it. Ew, oh my God, that's so heavy. Oh. I've gotten weak.
It's because your bar snapped.
Yeah. That's it, guys. The car's back to all-wheel drive. So I was going to end the video there, but Joel reminded me that I shouldn't be that bad of a person. So we're gonna talk about briefly, and the video is coming, but we're gonna talk about this briefly, is that we don't have the front drive shaft in yet because we have the exhaust out for ceramic coating, and the header, the exhaust, and the turbo will all get that. So that keeps this cool while we are at the race. But you guys know what the biggest cliffhanger to a video is?